The western half of the state evolved under a fire regime, and I know in Mason County I've read that wildfires would come through here every 3 to 7 years. And what that did was that kept your brush, so to speak, kept your brush at bay. Cedar, Ashe, Juniper, which is a very noxious plant in the hill country. It's native to Texas, but 150, 200 years ago, it was confined to the thickest, roughest draws where fire couldn't get into, the valleys and whatnot, the uplands, the flats. That was a grassland. And with the suppression of fire, it allowed a very noxious native plant such as the Ashe juniper to extend its range. Well, when you got a brush species like Ashe juniper, even like say something thinner that looks less intimidating, like a mesquite tree, when it starts growing out on the plains, that gives a place for predators to hide. A hawk can sit in a tree, or a bobcat can get behind the little mesquite tree and catch the prairie dog when he's not looking. So it gave the advantage to the predator versus the prairie dog. Also, by prescribed fires, what you're doing is you're setting back that plant successional stage, and you're making those plants that are there a lot more nutritious. So after a fire, and then when the rains come, it's going to be the first place that greens up, and that's your best grazing for, of course, your prairie dogs, but not only that, the other plains animals, the pronghorn, the buffalo, or maybe mule deer, whatever it was that lived there. The fire is just a great tool for making a piece of ground more fertile and more nutritious for those wildlife. And with that suppression, what you've seen through a lot of its range is that it's become a brushland, which is not conducive to a good prairie dog habitat. And they all go together. The fire suppression, the brush encroachment, and the reduction of prairie dogs. So it's all like a working machine.